Today we're going to be looking at 5 simple methods that you could implement right now, or 5 things you need to focus on that could give you instant results in your sprint performance. So without further ado, let's go. If you're new to the channel, remember to like and subscribe. The first thing we're going to look at here is a proper warm up. So if you're an athlete or a sprinter or somebody in general who's looking to improve your performance or even maximize on your gains in the gym, the most important thing you want to focus on is your warm up. And your warm up doesn't have to be long. It all depends on what you're trying to do. So if it's a day where you're going to the track to sprint all out or close to max speed, you want light jog or strides, and then you want to get into some mobility work, which is a very crucial part of a warm up. And mobility work includes hip mobility stuff, leg swings, squats. Those are the type of thing that's going to increase blood flow, increase range of motion, and help you to sprint as fast as you can. And then a good thing about the warm up is, and why it's important to warm up is, you want to make sure that you're focusing on increasing blood flow, increasing your heart rate, so you can maximize on whatever lift or whatever workout you're going to do. So I have multiple warm-ups on here for my sprinters, runners. I show you how to warm up for a strength training. I show you how to warm up to go do plyos, and I also show you how to warm up to sprint as fast as you can. So warm up, warm up, warm up. This will help you to prevent injuries. It also helps you to maximize on how fast you could sprint or how heavy you could lift or how explosive you could be. So the number one thing is going to be your warm up, and this is something that's neglected throughout the sprinting world or lifting world. People just go in the gym and get right on the machines or right on the weight, or they roll your wrist like this and think that's a warm up, right? So that's the first one. Second thing we're going to look at here is work on your form, work on your sprint form. This means you need to do sprint drills, do them slow, walk them, march them before you start to skip them and run them and go as fast as you can. If you are trying to maximize on a deadlift, work on your deadlift form with lightweight. If you're trying to maximize on push-up, work on your push-up form, right? Work on your form, continuously work on your form. I'm a two-time Olympian. I'm a multiple NCAA champion, national champion, all this stuff, right? In the 400-meter hurdles. And guys, when I tell you that I go back to basics in training every year to work on my sprint mechanics, my hurdle mechanics, learning how to take off and land. So I'm continuously trying to improve my form. Don't think your form is perfect and you don't need to change anything. If you could improve anywhere, it's going to be look at how you sprint, right? And look at your form and see where you're losing a little bit and try to improve on that. So the next thing is going to be your form, work on your sprint form, and you can do this by focusing on your sprint drills. And when you're doing sprints, be very aware of what your body is doing. So that's the second one. The third one here is you want to do max sprints, right? And when I say max sprints, I mean you're trying to sprint close to max speed for a certain amount of time or distance. And this could be transverse. You could do it on a hill to maximize on the strength and power aspect of it. And also it will help you to increase your form too. But you want to be making sure you're sprinting 2 days a week or sometimes one day a week, but be very intentional, be very specific with your sprints and your run. You don't want to just go to the track and just do some sprints, right? If you're trying to improve, set distances and put markers and have time frames and recovery, right? So recovery is very important between sprints to maximize on your effort, your power output. So for example, say for example, I'm doing some 80-meter sprints. I would do one time 80-meter and then rest 6 to 8 minutes and then do another one, if that makes sense. So I'm getting full recovery in between. And if you're trying to sprint fast, you're gonna have to sprint, but you can't sprint every day. You will get to a plateau. So 2 days a week is the sweet spot, and be very specific and change up your distances too. So you could start out with like 10, 20, 30. Stop at 30 because that's where the acceleration zone is. And then after that, then you stretch it out to like 60 or 80, right? After, with full recovery in between. The next one we're going to talk about here, this one is huge. This is what has helped me so far to improve. I'm 35 years old and I've gotten a new PB in 400-meter hurdles and 400-meter in the same year. I PB'd. My 400 was 46.9 in university and I dropped it to 46.4. right? And my 4 hurdles was 48.48, and I dropped it to 48.42. Doesn't sound like a lot, but for my age, that is very impressive. Actually, that time ranked me at top 20 in the world, right? Amongst the young boys who are stepping because they got age and youth on their hand. But I got longevity. I got time, power, strength, and experience on my hand, right? So the biggest thing we're going to talk about here is do specific plyometric training. Don't do general plyos if you're trying to improve sprint speed, right? General plyos get you explosive like box jumps, depth jumps, step down, toe jump. Those are really good in general terms. But if really and truly, if we're thinking about the concept of speed and going as fast as we can, your plyos has to mimic that type of thing. So I would say you want to do power skips, you want to do jump lunges, you want to do split jumps, you want to do sprint drills, right? Sprint drills are really good plyometrics. You want to do hurdle hops for distance and height. You want to do hurdle hops for speed, right? These are the things that's going to help you to improve as plyometrics. And the next thing you could do is bounding. Any one of the bounding series will help you. Straight leg bound, bent knee bound. These are mimicking sprint movement. So they're going to be much more translatable when it comes on to improving your time. And then the last one we want to talk about here, this is one where a lot of coaches and athletes and just people in general, they get confused. We're talking about sprint specific strength training, right? There's a phase in training when you have to get really specific with your exercises. Think about what you're doing when you're sprinting, you're bouncing, jumping off one leg onto the next leg. So try some single leg hops with dumbbells in your hand. Try some box jumps with dumbbells, right? If you're gonna go heavy, do some cleans, do some pogo hops with weight, right? Anything more bouncy and jumpy and you had resistance to it, that is perfect. But you don't just want to stand in one spot, load the bar up, do some deep squats and think it's gonna translate on the track. It won't. Deep squats are great at a certain point in the season to help you to develop that leg strength to be able to get as deep as you can and get that full body, full range going, right? But if we're talking about being very explosive and getting really fast, you put the barbell on your back and you do some high knees for time. You get the trap bar and you put 15 seconds on and then you try to count how many reps you could do in 15 seconds for jump squats. That's more effective and that's more tailored towards sprinting and what when we think about sprinting. So this is where I'll stop today, guys. If you like this type of content, you let me know. I'll be coming to you guys with more informative videos. And if you haven't subscribed already, remember to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, leave a comment. And also, guys, I offer online sprint programs. So if you're looking to improve as a sprinter or somebody in general, I offer strength training programs as well. So that's available to you. All you have to do is the email that's in this description. Send me an email, serious inquiries only, and let's get it started.
And you know I'm running back. I want all the noise on the track, running laps, yeah. Like I'm Rock Troy, I'm living fast, switching lanes.